Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ECW Lives Universe Mode. We are back, and tonight we have 4 more first-round matches in the Tag Team Championship Tournament, including new debuts. Yes, there is. And here we go then, starting the night off with one of these tag team matches. The FBI go up against Triple Threat. Now, this one for me should be very, very one-sided. FBI very close to the bottom of the rankings. Triple Threat currently 1 win out of 1. So, of course, we've got Little Guido on the floor and Tony Mamaluke, his tag team partner, against Shane Douglas with the black and gold trunks and Chris Candido with the black and greyish gold trunks. They both got sort of black and gold, haven't they, really? Shane Douglas is the one currently slamming the face of Little Guido into the mat with his arm up. Yeah, so 4 more tag team matches tonight. The second 4 first-round matches. We've got FBI versus Triple Threat, of course, we've got in the ring. The Chair Swinging Freaks versus Public Enemy. Danny Doring and Roadkill versus the debuting Pitbulls. And RVD and Sabu go up against BWO. Before our main event, the debut of the Vampire Warrior going up against Sid. So yeah, this should be a pretty simple victory here, I would imagine, for Triple Threat, to be honest. Shane Douglas now taking Guido up and, dropped him face first, but I think his legs actually caught the ropes as well. Shane Douglas now bringing Mamaluke back up to his feet. And dumping both members of the FBI to the outside. Looking strong. What a drop kick right to the knee there by Shane Douglas on Tony Mamaluke. Mamaluke with a boot in the gut. And the strikes here on Chris Candido. Big chop. And all of a sudden, FBI Little Guido starting to get some control here over Candido. Didn't last too long, did it really? Shane Douglas now taking him up and dropping him. Keeps the grip, rolls the hip for the second. Keeps the grip, rolls the hip for the third vertical suplex on the outside. Douglas really dominating Mamaluke, but Mamaluke trying to get some offense back here. And the FBI, they would love a win here. I don't think they've actually won a tag team match yet, have they? No. They're 0-3 currently, the FBI. Nice takedown there by Douglas as Chris Candido now with Little Guido. Spine first into the ring post. And I feel like Triple Threat might just be playing around a little bit here, you know. I feel like Triple Threat are just destroying the FBI where they probably could have won. What is Mamaluke? Oh, Mamaluke! I think he's just gone with the brass knucks here, you know. Mamaluke's just caught Shane Douglas with the brass knucks. Candido hasn't noticed. But Douglas was able to kick out, and wow, Mamaluke out of nowhere. And he has rocked Shane Douglas now in the middle of the ring. But Douglas back up with a running neck breaker. Mamaluke trying to clothesline Douglas, who just slaps him away into the corner now, running big clothesline. Douglas now bringing Mamaluke back up to his feet. Strong right hand. Mamaluke drops. Surely it's in a matter of time here before Triple Threat just walk away with this. It's gotta be. Still only a 2 count though. Nice backbreaker. Big chop. Running drop kick to the back by Candido. Candido now taking Marmaluke up onto the top. Nice running knee strike right in the face. Candido now taking up little Guido. Marmaluke fighting back from the vertical suplex, and Guido fighting back from the vertical suplex as well. If FBI pulled this out the bag, this is going to be insane. There's the pin by little Guido on Chris Candido. Oh my God, they've done it! Oh my God. Chris Candido and little Guido. Every time I say I believe somebody's the favourite, they bloody get knocked out. Chris Candido and Shane Douglas suffer the losses to Tony Marmaluke and little Guido. That's little Guido and Tony Marmaluke's first ever wins in ECW. The pair of them had never won a match, singles or tag, and all of a sudden they're through to the second round of the tag team tournament. How on earth have FBI pulled this out the bag? How on earth? Wow. Well, let's see who their opponents are going to be in the second match of the evening. And here is match number 2 of the evening then. We have got the chair swinging freaks going up against Public Enemy. So the chair swinging freaks, we have got Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney against Public Enemy, Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock. The winner of this one will get FBI in the second round, so it's not bad at all, really. The second round will be on next episode. It's a very tag team based month, this one, isn't it? It's all tag team wrestling. But then once we complete this first season, which will be finished on New Year's Eve, once we complete the first season, we'll have a little couple of week break. We'll do something different for a couple of weeks, and then we'll come back with season 2. And then at least we will have an ECW champion and tag team champions crowned. Still got to think about the television championship and some sort of cruiserweight belt as well as something that I'm looking towards. Nice takedown. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe of using the FMW cruiserweight championship. I think that might be a good way forward. Nice leg drop. That's Balls Mahoney there in the ring. Taken down, I think that's Rocco Rock. Wow, Axel Rotten was just stood there and he got absolutely flattened. Nice leg drop to the back of the arm. I think we are expecting another group of ECW Lives wrestlers after Christmas, which should be pretty nice. However, I think our roster is pretty full now with some of the cores that we do have. I'm sure there's probably a few more we could pick up, but as this one is a lot more weapons-based, as we would have expected with the chair swinging freaks, and Public Enemy as well, I suppose, are quite hardcore-based. Nice elbows there. Nice takedown. Axel Rotten struggling in the middle of the ring. And now here is Balls Mahoney wrenching back at the face. He's rolled through though. By Johnny, I think it's Johnny Grunge. I'm going to have to Google it again, aren't I? I Googled this last time, didn't I? Johnny Grunge. Johnny Grunge. Johnny Grunge is the blonde one, I think. No, I might be wrong. Which one's which? Johnny Grunge. Which one's Johnny Grunge? I don't know which one he is. That one's Johnny Grunge. Let me see if I can find Rocco Rock. Rocco Rock. Okay, yeah, Johnny Grunge is the blonde hair. Rocco Rock is the dark hair. That was right. That's what I said then, yeah. I thought it was right. So this is Johnny Grunge now with Balls Mahoney up on the corner. Oh, both of these guys are dead. Rocco Rock died in 2002 at the age of 49. Died of a heart attack while en route to a wrestling show. And Johnny Grunge died in 2006 at the age of 39. Wow. That's pretty depressing, isn't it? He died of sleep apnea. Okay. It's an interesting one. Johnny Grunge was Chris Benoit's neighbour and helped, well, tried to assist Chris Benoit in coping with Eddie Guerrero's death in 2005. I did not know that. It's interesting sort of stuff you learn when you go on random Wikipedia page, isn't it? Nice leg drop there by Balls Mahoney on Johnny Grunge. Now, Balls Mahoney into the pin. The Chair Swinging Freaks, they did have a match already, haven't they? Did they win that match? I can't remember now. Yeah, no, they've had one win, one draw so far in their life in ECW. Nice stamp right in the back of the arm. Brings Grunge back up to his feet. Into the corner and a big clothesline taking him down. Boot in the gut as well. Wow, another stiff clothesline there by Johnny. Brings Balls back up as Axel Rotten clattering Rocco Rock on the outside. Johnny Grunge, though, I think he was looking for a powerbomb there, but he got flipped out. Might have to do a couple of tag team matches with a couple of guys that are struggling a bit. Maybe BWO could have a match against the FBI, see which one. BW International, that is. Public Enemy so far, 2 tag team matches, 2 losses. So I'm sure they'll be hoping to turn that around here. Wouldn't that be amazing? The FBI versus Public Enemy. 2 teams that have never won a match before in ECW. Both get through to the second round and face each other, which means one of them would have to win a second match. As we see the battle between Rocco Rock and Axel Rotten was going up the ramp there until Axel just threw Rocco back into the apron. Balls Mahoney slides back in the ring, sending Grunge off the ropes and a big back elbow right in the face. Stamping in the gut once again, and now wrenching in with his camel clutch. Will this be enough to get the tap? Well, he's holding him in position, though, while Axel Rotten goes to the pin, and Axel Rotten gets the win. The Chair Swinging Freaks get themselves another victory, while Public Enemy suffer their 3rd loss here in ECW. Which means we will see the Chair Swinging Freaks against the FBI in round number 2 of this Tag Team Championship tournament. Wow. Very interesting so far. Very interesting. We've got 2 more tag team matches here for you this evening. The next one coming up is going to be the debuts of a couple of new wrestlers here in ECW. So let's get straight into it. And here we go then. Our 3rd match of the evening. Amish Roadkill and Danny Doring take on the Pitbulls. Pitbull Anthony and Pitbull Gary. Or Pitbull number 1 and Pitbull number 2, as we're better known. I think one of them's still alive. The other one's not. Anthony's actually dead now. So Anthony's the one with the bald head. And Gary's the one with the longer hair. Anthony actually died of a fentanyl overdose. Which is quite a big topic over the last 12 months, hasn't it? If you know, you know. So Gary with a headbutt in the face of Roadkill. These two guys, Roadkill and Danny Doring, actually had a pretty decent time recently as well. They are currently 1-0. That one victory they had was against RVD and Sabu, which is an amazing win for them. So if they can continue that form on tonight, they'll have an opportunity to go towards the Tag Team Championships. And of course, the Pitbulls making their debut here tonight. Great to see these two finally turn up here in ECW. Nice back elbow by Danny Doring. Chop across the face. And Doring and Roadkill both striking Gary over and over again. Gary. Pitbull Anthony now back in the ring, just headbutts Danny Doring, taking him out. He looks like a beast, doesn't he, old Pitbull Anthony? A real beast. I feel like the Pitbulls are quite a good tag team, weren't they? They must have won some gold, did they? ECW. This is funny, isn't it? In March the 4th, 2000, they returned to ECW, and they lost to Amish Roadkill and Danny Doring. There we go. Francine was their manager for a while. Championships, they were tag team champions in ECW once. Anything else? They're in the Hardcore Hall of Fame. NWA United States Tag Team Champions twice. IPW Tag Team Championships once. So quite a few different tag team champions. There's more on there as well. There's a lot of them are smaller companies, but could they be our first ECW tag team champions? As Gary with a powerbomb. Anthony now with a pin on Roadkill, and that is enough. The Pitbulls showcasing their ability, and they come out on top. Danny Doring and Roadkill suffer their first loss. Roadkill not happy at all with that loss by the looks of it. Holding his head. But there's more to come. There's more to come from this tag team, of course. Roadkill, as you can see, not happy at all with that loss. Shouting at the Pitbulls. But it is what it is. The Pitbulls make their way through to the second round. And here's our fourth match of the evening. The final first round match in the tag team tournament. RVD and Sabu go up against the Blue Meanie and Hollywood Nova of the BWO. 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 Right. Let's see who will face the Pitbulls. RVD and Sabu have not been fantastic so far. I've just realised I've not given the... I've not done the rankings properly, have I? I've been doing the tag team rankings, nothing else. So, Axel Rotten got the win. Balls Mahoney got the win. It was a loss for Johnny Grunge. And for Rocker Rock. There we go. A loss for Roadkill. Loss for Danny Doring. And a win for Pitbull Gary, Pitbull Anthony. There we go. Right. I always forget when I'm doing tag team matches. I always forget. Big splash there in the corner by Blue Meanie on Sabu. Yeah, it's been a difficult one for RVD and Sabu. They were doing pretty well until, you know, it came up to... Until it came up to that stupid match against Roadkill and Danny Doring. They lost. And that match really hit them hard because before that match, they were going to be part of the Tag Team Championship qualifying matches. And after they lost that match, I took them out. I mean, you have to earn everything here, can't you? And to be honest, losing a match like that is not a way to earn it. RVD with a Hurricanrana on Hollywood Nova. Some people have argued that Hollywood Nova was very much ahead of his time. He was an innovator before innovators were really a thing in wrestling, I suppose. The Blue Meanie now rocking a leg drop on Sabu. And Blue Meanie is really enjoying himself here. There's the pin on Sabu for the one. Only the 1 count. And now RVD looking pretty happy with himself before he gets absolutely flattened. RVD went for that running drop kick. Blue Meanie slaps him away. RVD now front chancery on Blue Meanie. Meanie slapping the hand away and then flattens RVD as well. Knee in the face. Meanie struggling there for energy. Drops to a knee, allowing RVD the opportunity to get back up on his feet. And drop kicks Blue Meanie in the face. RVD slamming the arm of Blue Meanie into the mat. Blue Meanie, oh, big boot right in the calf of RVD, which is a very clever maneuver actually by the Blue Meanie. Not one that you would expect, is it really? Not one you'd expect at all. RVD, nice running bulldog. RVD now with a pin. This could be the big chance because Blue Meanie's down. No, Nova kicks out. Okay. Able to kick out. Sabu now with a cross arm bar. Nova able to roll him through and break free with a strikes in the face. Nice. Nice powerbomb by Nova. 5-star frog splash. Wow. RVD hits the 5-star, but Nova's there with a sledgehammer. Nova missed with the sledgehammer. How do you miss with a sledgehammer? How do you kick out of a 5-star frog splash? Blue Meanie really impressing here. Really impressing. Cheeky little roll up here by Nova on RVD. Referee with a count. Referee was so slow to get down there, wasn't he? But Blue Meanie now with a pin on Sabu. I really think RVD and Sabu are going to lose again here, you know. I really do. Sabu now heading up to the top. He's going to go for it. Oh, he hit it. He hit it, the flipping leg drop. He hits it. 1, 2. And they've got it. My God. My God, did they need that so desperately. RVD and Sabu with the victory against the team of BWO, who get their second loss in 2. RVD and Sabu get themselves a win. And that means we now know all 4 of our second round matches now. The Nasty Boys versus the Insane Clown Posse. FBI versus the Chair Swinging Freaks. The Pitbulls versus RVD and Sabu. And the Dudley Boys versus the Gangsters. Also booked for next episode, Spike Dudley will team up with Big Dick Dudley for his first match as they take on the newest tag team here in ECW, look to be forming, Chris Canyon and Scotty Riggs. 2 men we've seen in the last few weeks attacking Spike Dudley in matches. So that's next week's main event. But talking of main events, it's time for tonight's. And here we go then, our main event of the evening. Psycho Sid goes one-on-one against the Vampire Warrior. Of course, as you may have noticed by the looks of him, originally was known as Gangrel in WWE. So he's here now, the Vampire Warrior. Who gets the back of his head slammed into the mat by Psycho Sid. Sid is someone that I would like to see do a lot better. However, he is still doing absolutely terribly. Nice neck breaker. by Vampire Warrior. Dropping the knee right in the face of Sid as well. Big boot in the spine by Vampire Warrior on Sid. This could be a really interesting match if Sid was to pull this victory off, you know. Vampire Warrior now really wrenching back at this one. Sid is currently on -2 in the rankings now, you know. 1 victory and 3 losses for him. I mean, he has had some big matches. He did face off against Mike Awesome. He was part of a Fatal 4-Way as well. So he has had some big matches. However, he would like to be doing a lot better than what he currently is. Sid, for me, is potential ECW champion. That's where I'd like to see him anyway. He had a baseball bat, but Vampire Warrior was waiting there for him. And catch him with a hip toss. Imagine the debut for Vampire Warrior comes in the main event of an episode of ECW Lives. To pull off a victory against someone like Sid would be insane for him. That would be a real big move for him. Maybe I need to bring in a couple like enhancement talent people just to help put some of us over, you know. Sid with the electric chair drop on Vampire Warrior. Vampire slowly gets back up to his feet. Sid now is going to take Vampire up, drop him gut first across the top rope. Sid now staring down Vampire Warrior. Vampire with the strikes. Taking Sid up high. Big hip toss. There's the pin for the 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Boot in the spine. Vampire Warrior now bringing Sid back up. And it's a big powerbomb as well by Vampire Warrior on Sid. Again, Vampire bringing Sid back up. Strong strikes right in the gut. And Sid now has Vampire Warrior throttled. Takes him up into the choke slam. And Sid is in a very strong position here as Vampire slowly crawls his way back up to his feet. But Sid just... Well, I don't understand why they do it in this game. Sid just stands there waiting. Why am I still waiting? Vampire now with a big back elbow on Sid. Sid now going up into that big jackknife powerbomb. It's got to be in it. That has got to be the lot. It is. Psycho Sid gets himself the victory over Vampire Warrior. Sid moves up to -1 in the rankings. Vampire Warrior moves down to -1. But Sid needs to continue this movement in the right direction. But Vampire Warrior going after Sid. Sid ducks him. And Sid showcasing his ability. Clotheslines Vampire Warrior to the outside. And there we go. There we go. Victory for Sid. Vampire Warrior won't be happy with that. But it is what it is. Well, that's the end of tonight's ECW Lives. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, slap the like, subscribe, all that other good stuff. And I will see you again in a few more days' time for our next episode of ECW Lives. Bye-bye.